Hey everyone, it's Konami. And welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how I got this dewy mid-glam look. I say mid-class glam because I believe that it is in between the questionable first makeup video that I posted on YouTube not too long ago and ultra glam videos. I think that this is kind of like an everyday glam look. It is a look that I use when I have the day off of work, but I still need to go out and do some shopping, or I want to go hang out with friends, but it's not super glam like I'm gonna go to a musical theater or something like that. If you guys want to see how I got this mid-glam dewy look, be sure to keep on watching. As always with every makeup video, there is a disclaimer. I'm not a professional makeup artist, nor have I ever claimed to be. All opinions and views are my own, and you are more than welcome to disagree. Just because something works for me or doesn't work for me, doesn't mean that it won't work or will work for you. We're all different, and that's what makes us beautiful. So with that, let's keep an open mind and an open heart. Enough mumbo jumbo, and let's press start. Okay, so for my first step, I like to, put my hair up and get out of my face. So for my first step, I moisturize. I'm going to take Tarte's Drink of H2O. If you saw my last video, you'll know I like this formula because it is a gel. I like it because it's nicer to my skin. I have really oily skin, so this is a much better choice for someone like me. It doesn't melt off, and it just smells really good too, which is helpful. I also am going to be using Tarte's Rainforest of the Sea Prep and Prime Marine Boosting Mist. This stuff is good for prepping the skin. However, it is really bad, in my opinion, for setting. I would not use this as a setting spray, even though it's marketed as a setting spray. When I sprayed it on my face, it literally started creating potholes in my face, and I thought I was looking real good, and it turned out that I looked like I had something going on with my face. It just started melting through the makeup, and maybe it's the makeup that I'm using, I don't know, but it was not good as a setting spray, so just a little tidbit. Alright, now that we're all prepped and primed, I'm going to go ahead and cover up my mustache. So I'm going to be using LA Girl Pro Concealer today, and I'm going to be taking this on my non-damp Fake Beauty blender. And the reason I use it not damp is because I noticed that when I used it with a damp sponge, it actually dispersed on my face, and it would bleed into my makeup and show this like red patch right where my face was, which was not cool. So I started using the sponge dry, and I haven't had a problem since. Again, I love this look. It's my favorite. I'm also gonna dab it underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this by using the True Match L'Oreal powder. This is just so that it can sink in, and that way it is a good base for me to put on my foundation. So for foundation, I'm going to be using Max Pro Longwear foundation in shade NC35. This is the MAC foundation I got from a MAC haul, and I'm finally doing a video on it. Holla. I am going to be using Urban Decay's All Nighter Setting Spray to start the moisturizing process on my face. I was told by the manager that when I use this formula, I need to have a pretty moisturized face. Good to me. And if you didn't see, I did spray the end of this so that it did get a little wet, so that I have moisture going all the way around, you know. Whoop, whoop. And now I'm going to blend down my neck. And just go down on my chest. I can always tell how full coverage a makeup product is by testing it on my tattoo right here. This guy, I'd say, is like a medium full coverage. Like, you can definitely build it up to cover. I know that Urban Decay's All Nighter formula had covered that in the first layer. This is definitely a buildable coverage. It's not something that I would say is full coverage right out the bottle, but it does a pretty good job on its own the first time. Plus I'm going to be adding like my concealer and stuff, so it does what I'm asking it to. And if you guys couldn't tell, it is my actual shade. I know that I have pretty combination skin when it comes to pigmentation, just because I was definitely an acne picker in high school, so I have a lot of acne scarring. But this is actually my real tone, I think, or closest to it. Sometimes it makes me look washed out, but it's really not. It's actually pretty accurate, and you can tell because my neck matches my chest, which in my last video it did not, because I was using a darker foundation. Yeah, anyway, moving on. Next up is concealer. I use Tarte's Shape Tape in shade Light Sand. I used to do the triangles thing and the little cross that a lot of people do, and I have since switched it up. I now take my beauty blender to it because I realized that doing that is kind of harsh, at least for me, and I end up putting a lot more concealer on there than need be. So I end up literally looking like I just took pancake mix and just smeared it on my face instead of blending it in. And by using this method, I get a little bit more control over how dark or light I want that highlight to be. I want it to look like I was kissed by the sun in the end, not like I was kissed by the Pillsbury Doughboy. All right, and so I take it right here and I just go down my nose and just on the tip right here. And then today it's pretty sunny out, so I'm gonna do right underneath my chin right here. And we're gonna blend it out. Hey, hey. So it's that time of the video where I set my under eye with my Airspun. Yay! I actually purchased more Airspun. This one is not as translucent. I don't know if you can tell, but it is a little bit more of a darker color. And I realized that in combination with the under eye concealer, that when I blend it out, if it's a darker color, it'll actually look a little more natural on me instead of the stark white. Like I said, I don't want to look like I got kissed by the Pillsbury Doughboy, so I'm only putting this on where I have that concealer. You'll notice that I didn't put it on, I didn't put concealer up here anymore. I realized looking in pictures that right here on my face, whether or not I have powder, whether or not I have done something to make it look matte, was terrible flashback on pictures. And it wasn't the flashback, it was actually because I had just white looking makeup right here, and it didn't look very good. You'll have to excuse me, I'm also just getting over being sick, but it's just an excuse. Anyway, now I'm gonna go in with my eyebrows. So I'm gonna bring you guys in closer. So we're gonna start off by using my Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade in soft brown. What I'm gonna be doing is I'm just going to be putting a little bit on the ends, just to kind of mark off where I want everything. It's a very rough draft. Then I'm gonna take a spoolie and I'm just gonna run that through just to kind of blend that into the hair. Now we're gonna be taking NYX Tame and Frame in the color Espresso. Then we're gonna be darkening up the areas that are on the tail end. And I'm kind of one of those people that is okay with messing up if I know that I'm going to be correcting it later. So I do like to carve out my brows. So like I said, it's kind of a rough draft for me. I just like to make sure that I have filled in the eyebrows as best as possible before I do that. So the next thing that I do is I take a Stila liquid liner pen and I just draw some quick little lines to make it look more like there's hair there. I always go in the direction of where the hair is going so that it looks natural. Before we move on to the next step, I like to take some powder, and I am using this CoverGirl brow liner and powder. And what I do is I just take that and I start a little bit away from the edge and I just outline the brow with powder to kind of set it in there. And then I take a flat brush and I just run it through lightly. All right, boys and girls, now it's time for my favorite part where we carve out my eyebrows. Yes, it's my favorite thing to do in the morning. And so what I do is I take my Tarp Shape Tape and I literally just pulled it out this much. I take a brush and I just grab a little bit. You really don't need that much. Then I relax my eye and I just carve it out. So I carve out the bottom and the side, but I leave the top right here. Because like I said, I don't use light makeup up here anymore. So I actually go over the top with regular foundation. Okay, now that I have blocked off my eyebrows substantially, I'm gonna go over the top so that we can reblock that area too. I'm gonna take a small brush and just rub that in some foundation. Again, just the tiniest bit, like a dot. That's all you need. Voila. All right, and now my eyebrows are blocked. Some people will leave it just like this. I personally dig it, but only in like a sci-fi cosplay action movie sort of way. So I do like to blend it down into my eye and use that as a base for my eyeshadow. Now that I'm done with my eyeshadow, I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off with the True Match powder. I am shade N4. We're just gonna knock out that white color and rebalance it back to brown-ish, tannish. All right, because my camera sucks and I messed up really bad, we're gonna try this again. So today for my eye look, I'm gonna go ahead and use the Kylie Genoir Burgundy palette. We're gonna start off with the color Naked, and we are gonna go ahead and use that as a wash on the eye. Yes, wash that bad. You can see where I messed up right there. Remnants. Now I'm gonna take this golden color called LA. I'm gonna put that on the inner third of my eye. I'm gonna just bring it down because why not? I messed up, but who cares? We roll with the punches here. Shimmery. All right, now I'm gonna go in with this red color, reddish brown color called Brick. And we are gonna go ahead and just put that on the outside. And blend that in to the crease. I'm just gonna go right underneath the lash line to meet that gold. That's what we call a happy accident. So now I'm gonna go ahead in with this brown color called Almond. We're just going to lightly tap into that with our blending brush, and we are just going to lightly add that to the top to darken out the edge. All right, so for eyeliner, I go ahead and I use Urban Decay's ink for eyes. I actually cut it so that it has a tapered edge, but you can use it right out of the packaging just the way you want. Let me bring my camera down a little bit so you can see. What I usually do is I half close my eyes and I just swipe across the top of my eye line like that. My eyeliner looks are usually pretty bold, so I don't do teeny tiny lines. I actually make sure that I can see my liner, especially when my eye is all the way open. You're probably asking yourself, why such a messy line? That's because I go in with Urban Decay's 24/7 liquid eyeliner. I go over it like this. The wing is pretty easy. I know it seems really complicated, but it's not. What it is you are taking this right here, the end of your eyebrow, and this right here, the end of your eye, and you're gonna make an imaginary line, and you're gonna follow that line with your brush. And you wanna make sure that the brush tip is super tapered, super skinny. And then just draw that line, girl. Just like that. All right, and now that you have this line, just go ahead and open your eye and connect it. Then it's just a bunch of filling in. But don't get too crazy right here, because I have been known to seriously start filling in so furiously that I ruin the entire eye look. So take your time. Don't go crazy. Because my eye look is kind of medium glamish today, I'm going to use my Stila Got Inked Cushion Eyeliner, and I'm going to use Black Obsidian ink. And I'm just going to take it on a brush, teeny tiny brush, just dab it in there. And I'm going to bring the line down just ever so slightly onto my outer corner of my eye and meet it up there. See the difference? Very dramatic. Dramatic. Not so dramatic. Alright guys, so now I'm going to go ahead and curl my eyelash. Just the tips, because I like them to stand up a little bit. And I use a combination of 2 mascara. The first one is the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. It's smooth, it goes on well, I really like it, and it covers everything. And then I go on with L'Oreal's Voluminous Carbon Black, and I use this wand. I don't know what it is about this wand, but it's magic because it opens up and spreads all the lashes. For blush, I'm going to go ahead and use my favorite tried and true Smashbox's Geranium. I put it on the apple of my cheek, and then I just kind of drag it back a little. And I do the same over here. And then in order to make that look a little more natural, I kind of blend it in with the same powder that I used for my face. So that way it doesn't completely cover it, but it does blend it in underneath a layer of the powder. So it looks just a little more natural. So while I want my blush to look natural, I definitely don't want my highlights to be natural looking. So I use Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I'm using King Tut. I am just going to dust that right here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's a good one. That's a real good one. Ooh, that looks so good. That's so weird too. I'm just gonna highlight my nose and right over here too. Like, highlighters are no joke. Like, you can go from literally like just regular to just blinding in just seconds, and it's so cool. Like, I love that so much. And then to finish this off, I'm gonna go in with Ice Cold on top, just right underneath the eye, just to kind of play up this space between my eye and my highlighter. So instead I'll have a whole highlighter. All right, so for my lips today, I'm gonna be using Celebrity Skin by Jeffree Star. All right, guys, so let's take off the gear, shake out our hair. All right, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I know it was crazy and long and whatever. I am trying to get a little bit better in front of the camera when it comes to makeup and centering myself and being spatially aware, as well as keeping my time spent being entertaining, I guess. I don't know. But if you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And remember to subscribe to my channel to keep up to date on all things Konami Eye. If you have any questions, comments, or want to leave your feels, leave them in the comments box below. And remember, please be nice with the comments you see, even if you disagree. And the best way to defeat someone who's rude or is trolling is to just ignore them and keep on scrolling. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Konami Eye, as well as Twitch under the same name. You can find me at my gaming channel at KawaEko. And until next time, this is Konami Eye saying thanks so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Bye!